So I've now been printing the hilt. It's taking a while. It says 24 hours at least to print it. It's because I'm making it solid because I want it as resistant as possible. I've had a couple of problems with the extrusion of the filament, as every printer will have problems constantly. You just have to get used to it and fix them as fast as you can. But as you can see, there's a little seam down here. It means that the printer stopped for a bit. I had to change and fix this filament and then restart it. So what I'm going to do is just shave it off a little bit after it's finished printing, and hopefully it won't stop again. The filament is also finishing, so next time I'll have to make sure that uh, there is enough filament inside before I start the print, because I'll have to stop it again and change the filament. I printed the pommel already. Came out a bit weird because of the clogging and the filament problems. But because I want to make it a bit rough, a bit like the new Jedi game coming out with Sony, I want to have the end of the lightsaber partially destroyed with wires coming out. So that's gonna work anyway to my advantage. So, as I said, the pommel didn't come out that amazingly. I spray painted it bronzish gold, very light spray paint, because I want the black to show. It gives it more a metallic feeling that's not fake. If you painted it matte completely without leaving any dark spaces, it would look plasticky. So like this is more metal. I put a bit of order in the wires. They're all tidied up so that you can put them together and close the hilt. I added a power converter, so it comes in as 12 and comes out as 5, and it shows you on the display. So I'm going to put this so that you can actually see it externally. It gives it a bit more of a technical, cool look to the lightsaber. And I added the same to the bottom, so I can see that how much the batteries are charged. And I'm just waiting for a couple of resistors so that I can finish the electronics, and then I can just concentrate on the aesthetic part outside and how resistant the hilt is going to be. But for now, while I'm waiting, I want to play around a bit with the aesthetics of the pommel. I'll move the lights here. This looks rough, but maybe it's the look that we are actually looking for. I'm just gonna add a few wires that go on top of it, twist around, glue them together, and give it a very rough edge, so that it's gonna look like, okay, this lightsaber has been in some battles. So what am I gonna do? I'll find some cables. I'm gonna go for the bluish green color. Won't add any more colors, otherwise it will look odd. But like this, it will look a bit more natural. Okay. So I don't think we'll even need all of this. We'll need just a few of them. And we're going to glue them in with my new pink glue gun. The other one exploded. Now glue guns get old, and then they can't take the heat. The internal system overloads, heats up and blows up. So careful with them, don't keep them near your face, because things like this happen a lot. And don't keep them near the batteries, this one's actually explode. So we're gonna plan this and see how it's supposed to go. We'll put them like that. And we won't need the black part, so we'll just have to actually strip it off a bit, so it looks a bit rougher. We'll put the don't overdo with the glue, otherwise it will show when it dries up. Just enough to hold everything down. And hold it until it's dry, so it doesn't come off when you glue another part. It's going to be an endless job. Try to glue them along the line of the cable, so the glue won't be seen, but the cable will look a bit rougher, because you're melting it with the gun anyway. Then when you reach here, add a bit of glue so it holds it down. I'm gonna go for the blue now. Same thing. Clip. Clip. Strip. Strip. Start here. Actually, let's start here. We'll just make it a continuous decoration, so each one of the parts will have it. So here's the glue gun. The initial part of the cable needs to be glued properly, otherwise if it comes off, everything comes off after. You don't have to do it exactly like how I'm doing it. Everyone has his own taste, especially for aesthetics. Doesn't really matter. I'm just doing it because I like this style, but you might like something else, and very free to do something else. The glue gives it an organic look, as if something's passing in like the force or something like that. So I kind of like the effect that it's having. Don't cross the lines around here. This would give it, this is a cable effect, and I didn't put them properly effect. Not really what you're looking for. Okay, another green. That's right. But when you're using the glue gun so near to your fingers, it's very easy to burn yourself, so be careful. Okay. There we go. Another part done. Just one left. Yeah, we didn't need all the wires. Okay, so let's glue down top again. Okay, so I'm going to just finish here. Put some glue on this side, hold it down. Going. Same thing as before. Finish the blue, I'm gonna get some more. There we go. Try to make sure it sticks to something everywhere it's a bit loose. Because otherwise, a little bit of movement once in a while and then eventually falls to pieces. We don't really want that. For example, here the end of it is messy. Stuck to it. Yeah. The other thing, make sure you don't touch where it's fresh. But this end has to be sticking to it without moving. And make sure you have a pair of tweezers always available to hold things that are hot. Otherwise you have to burn your fingers like I do. I mean, it works anyway, it's just painful. And there you go. Very technologically ancient pommel. This will go at the end of the lightsaber, you see? It stands straight, so you can actually place your lightsaber straight like that and it will stand, hopefully if it's balanced enough. And that's what you see from the bottom or from the sides. So, the resistors arrived, and now the entire electrical part is working. The problem is I didn't get an amplifier for the speakers because I thought that this integrated speaker would have had one inside, but apparently it doesn't. So the sound is kind of creeped out and not working properly. So I'm gonna get another piece later. Disconnect this, connect it, but I know at least that it's working because the sound changes. But for now, here's how it looks. So that works. If you click, it makes a sound, not the one you were expecting, but it will change. Changes color depending on what you want. Love this one the most, I think. And yeah, and turns off. I've also added a little strip of lights here that just directly connects without going up and down, because I'm going to eliminate the part of the hilt that attaches to the blade a lot more than the rest of the blade. So it looks like it's bigger and it gets smaller as the blade gets thinner. So you'll see how it is when I place it inside the hilt. It more or less behaves in the same way as the rest of the blade. See? So we shall see the next one as soon as the hilt has been printed.